Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Tonight, the Red Hot Tigers roll into Cincinnati with a rally goose in tow. They have won 5 consecutive ball games, and a weekend sweep of the White Sox has pulled the Tigers to within 1 game of the 500 mark. They'll try and get there tonight with a victory here in Cincinnati. It is a warm evening for baseball. Welcome to Great American Ballpark. It is game 1 in this short 2-game series featuring the Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 1 in this series. What more can you say about this ball club, Rod? They have not been 500 since April. They can get there tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait for tonight. I mean, who's it going to be? I mean, every single night it's a different guy. It could be Nicholas Castellanos. It could be the bullpen with Jimenez and Green. It could be the starting pitching. I just love the way this team is playing baseball. And to get back to 500, who would have thunk that at the beginning of spring training? It's been awfully fun to watch.
Yeah, well, it could be Matt Boyd tonight. That could be your player of the game. He has been extremely good in the Tigers rotation, very consistent this year.
And it doesn't really start this year. You go back to like September 12th of last year, his last 18 starts in the big leagues, his ERA is about 3, which is really, really good. He doesn't get it done like most of your other power pitchers in baseball that boast them same kind of numbers. He's one of those guys that pitches to a lot of contact. He does not get a lot of swing and misses, but a lot of soft contact, lots of ground balls. Every now and then he'll go upstairs with that four-seamer and get a swing and miss up there, but most of his bread has been buttered this year with that slide piece on the ground. He's thrown it 33% of the time, and the batting average against that slider, well, it's not very good, and therefore Matthew Boyd is really pitching like he wants to make the All-Star team this year. That's how good he's been.
All right, now when you come to Cincinnati, you normally talk about Joey Votto. We're not going to do that tonight. We've got 2 guys on our radar. Eugenio Suarez is 1, Scooter Gennett is 2. They are both having a marvelous season.
Well, we had Suarez, so we know the kind of quality kid that he is, and I've heard wonderful things from all my friends here in Cincinnati about what he means to this ball club. He's a leader. Not only does he do it on the field, Mario, he's doing it in the clubhouse. 14 homers, 52 driven in. He's second in the National League right now in runs driven in, and he's gotten a whole lot better over at that third base position. You may remember he was a shortstop by trade. And who has the best nickname in all of baseball? It's got to be Scooter. I just love the name. Therefore, he plays good baseball. 336 already this year, 12 homers, 48 driven in. You said this kid is in the MVP conversation in the National League. So we're talking about Suarez. We're talking about Gennett. Well, I'm sure we might talk about Votto a little bit later, but should be some good baseball tonight.
I hope to have a good time tonight. Game 1 of the series coming up after a short break. We'll go to the Call Sam Studios, check in with John Keating. And these days, we wouldn't dare go anywhere without the Rally Goose.
No.
He is here in Cincinnati tonight. Tigers Reds, Game 1 is on the way next. This short 2-game series, Tigers continue along on the road trip after sweeping 3 in Chicago over the weekend. So the Tigers hoping to bring that magic here into steamy Cincinnati, with the temperature today was in the 90s and very humid as well. But the Tigers will continue along here in Cincy for a 2-game series. Now, Leonis Martin getting set to lead things off for the Tigers. Their starting lineup tonight presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Martin, Candelario, and Castellanos in the top 3 spots. Nico Goodrum will bat cleanup tonight. Remember, no DH, so no Victor Martinez. John Hicks, Grayson Griner, and the bottom 3 of Reyes, Iglesias, and Matthew Boyd batting 9th and doing the pitching. Meanwhile, on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds is Sal Romano. He is presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Well, Romano's a big boy. I mean, he stands about 6 feet 5 inches, and he's 3-7. He probably pitched the best game of his career last time out. 8 innings in that particular contest. He's got all 4 pitches. Fastball 95 to 96. He's got a curve, slider, and a changeup, making his 15th start of the season for the Redlegs. Let's take a look at the Cincinnati Reds starting defensive alignment behind Romano. Well, Billy Hamilton really needs no introduction in center field. He is one of the premier center fielders in our sport. It's amazing he hasn't won a Gold Glove yet, but he hasn't won one. The former Tiger Suarez is at third. Peraza's at short. Jeanette Scooter is at second. Votto over at first. And Tucker Barnett is starting catcher here tonight.
Well, there is Billy Hamilton. He has certainly been a highlight reel, and we'll talk more about that as the night goes on. But he is one of the best defenders in this game with his blinding speed.
World-class speed.
Leonis Martin will lead things off. The Tigers center fielder facing Sal Romano. And here we go. The first pitch of tonight's ball game is high and away. 1-0 on Leonis. Tigers at 36-37, a win tonight, and they are .500 for the first time since April 8th. Right back up the middle and into center field. A solid single for Leonis Martin.
And getting ready to say, Leonis Martin already came in with really good numbers in his career against red leg pitching. It just went up a tick there. He hits the ball extremely hard.
By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Jeimer Candelario. Jeimer 10 homers this year, batting .250. Romano's first pitch is in there, a strike called. Jeimer in the 2 slot has been scuffling a bit of late, yet he continues to take his walks. He had 4 walks in that Chicago series. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Candelario.
And first pitch to Candelario was a 96-mile-per-hour fastball, and then Romano comes back and with an outstanding breaking pitch. And that ball had a lot of depth on it, and Jeimer swung right over the top of it. Romano comes in here tonight pitching with a lot of confidence after his last start against the Kansas City Royals. He throws hard too, partner. Big boy too.
6'5", 270 is what they list Mr. Romano at. At the start against the Royals, he gave up 1 run in 8 innings, and that was it. 3 hits as well, so he pitched a gem.
Yeah, before that, he really had been struggling, like most of their starting pitching. The Reds, their team ERA is approaching 5, which is almost the worst ERA in the American League.
He actually gave up 4 hits in that start against the Royals, not 3. Runner bluffing and a check swing missing. 2-2 now on Candelario.
Yeah, Romano thought he had strike 3, but the home plate umpire tonight, Ryan Blackney, did not give him the call. And now they're having a conversation about it. That would be Barnhart and the home plate umpire. Where was it?
Here is the 2-2. That one just missed. Now 3-2, a tad low.
I don't think it will be an issue here for Ron Gardenhire to start Martin from first base. I believe he has enough trust in Jeimer to put the ball in play if it's over the plate. And that way they can stay out of the double play if he does hit something on the ground.
Runner goes, and it's popped up left side of the infield for Suarez. And one gone with Martin retreating. Bernstein advantage brings Nick Castellanos to the plate, and for Nicholas, after a bit of a slow spell, he has really come on now, but his interleague numbers are what stand out. 311 with 14 homers and 63 career RBIs.
And this much we do know about Nicholas as well. If he gets a first pitch, a fastball, and sometimes it really doesn't have to be a fastball. He's up there swinging. He's very aggressive.
Nick had the 2-homer game in Chicago, followed by another one the next day, so 3 long balls in his last 2. A check swing roller towards short. Peraza on the move. He'll take 1 out at first. Nicholas has gone 6-3. Advance Martin.
Tigers need to get ready to hit that fastball, because that's exactly what Romano likes to feature. About 66% of the time, he is throwing that fastball on the first pitch.
Well, here is a situation where the Tigers are at a disadvantage here in National League parks, as all American League teams are. There's no DH. And so Nico Goodrum is batting cleanup in this one today. No Victor Martinez in this ball game, at least not yet. And Nico looks at a strike. Goodrum at 240 this year has flashed good power, 6 homers. I'd say limited playing time, but he's playing just about every day now. The 0-1 is missing low, and the count levels now 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers still playing with that second base position. Machado has had his struggles offensively, so Goodrum has seen some of the playing time at that position.
And Ron Gardenhire made the comment today that he has to find a spot for Nico to play, and because every time he gives him an opportunity, he just produces. He's gotten some big hits for the Tigers this season.
Swing and a miss, tied him up that time, 1-2.
It's a nasty slider that Romano is featuring, and you can see why they are very high on the 24-year-old. Even though he hasn't pitched all that well this year, he's got a really good breaking ball. And when you add in the fact that he's got 95, 96 with his fastball here in the first inning, that makes that breaking ball an even better pitch for him.
Nico has had a lot of 2-strike hits this year. He's down on the count here, 1-2. Swing and a miss, not that time. He tied him up again, and they'll throw down to complete the strikeout to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Matthew Boyd takes the mound for the Tigers. He's on the hill for the Tigers, and he is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Matthew Boyd making his first ever career appearance against the Cincinnati Reds. He's making his 14th start of the season. The earned run average outstanding. The whip is very good. He's thrown a lot of sliders this year, which is the fact that he's got 59 strikeouts, and he's only walked 28 so far this season.
Here is the Reds starting lineup tonight, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Peraza leads it off, followed by Barnhart and then Joey Votto. The middle lineup also includes Suarez and Jeanette. Duvall is in left, Winker, Romano, and Hamilton. They've got the pitcher batting 8th in their lineup. So Matthew Boyd takes the hill now after throwing 106 pitches in his last start. That was a season high.
And Boyd has all 4 pitches. His fastball probably will top out here tonight at about 93. He'll throw that fastball about 36 to 40% of the time. The remainder of the pitches will be curve, slider, and changeup.
Jose Peraza leads it off for the Reds, batting .271. He's been on base now in 18 straight games. Drilled in the air towards center field. On the move is Martin, and he'll get back there, 1 gone.
Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. You know that Martin is in center field. Nicholas Castellanos, he is occupying his regular spot. It appears that Ron Gardner, partner, starting to rotate some guys in left field, whether it be Jones or Reyes, on a daily basis. Candelario, Iglesias, Goodrum, Hicks in the infield, and Grayson Griner catching tonight. McCann will catch tomorrow.
Here is Tucker Barnhart. I think as far as left field goes for the Tigers, Victor Reyes now is starting to get a little bit more comfortable, having some pretty good at bats.
Interesting.
So let him play, get him in there. And Boyd missing outside to Barnhart. .256 batting average for the Gold Glove catcher for the Reds. He's knocked in 20 this year. That hit him. So Barnhart is aboard now. Just got him in the leg, and now Joey Votto will step in. Votto having another good year, .302 this season. He'll look at a ball outside, 1-0.
Surprising to me that Votto only batting .193 against left-handers, the way that he could really handle the bat. I mean, this guy is a perennial .300 hitter. His on-base percentage is always over .400. You made mention of the fact earlier when we were watching him during some video how much he chokes up on the bat.
Never really realized it, and obviously we don't see the Reds a whole lot, but he does choke up quite a bit.
That's a good 3 inches. And more than most players.
Votto for his career is a .294 hitter against lefties. So to your point, yeah, he's been much better than he has been this year.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking. And hopefully Matthew Boyd can keep him quiet for one more night.
He will make you work, to be sure. Votto has drawn better than 1,000 walks in his career. In fact, he reached that plateau this year. That's why his on-base percentage lifetime is well over .400. Stands deep in the box. Checked it. Strike call. 2-2.
And good firm fastball there thrown by Matthew at 90 miles an hour. Votto has a little bit of a beat for Ryan Blackney. Ryan Blackney already hearing it here tonight. It's early.
From both ends.
He's just shaking his head. Is it going to be one of those nights tonight, boys?
It could be. It's a steamy night here. And they're complaining already.
And going inside.
And Votto takes strike 3. Got him looking. He knew it. first strikeout for Boyd. Here is Eugenio Suarez.
Outstanding pitch here to finally get and Joey Votto out there. Here's a breaking ball that he just freezes him on. Take a look at the breaking ball. He starts it right at him. And then right there, Joey gives up on that ball. He buckles his knees, and that ball lands in the glove very nicely of Grayson Grinder. What a pitch there by Matthew Boyd.
Suarez looks at a strike on the inside part of the plate. Eugenio with an 8-game hitting streak. He is homered in his last 2 games and having an all-star year for the Reds.
He's got 52 RBI already this year, and he missed 16 games after being hit on the hand. Their very first road trip of the year by Jameson Taillon? Jameson Taillon.
Yeah. Well, Suarez, of course, broke in with the Tigers a couple of years back and has since moved on to the Reds and has put together a fabulous career.
A real nice changeup thrown by Boyd. Looks like Boyd mixing in all of his pitches already in the contest. And Suarez is good against left-handers. We've already talked about the fact that he'll probably make an all-star team this year as well.
Here's a 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Suarez has got the real simple stance. I mean, he's got the legs straight up and down. There's really no bend in the knees. He holds the bat flat, just like a lot of guys these days. He's got a little bit of a leg kick, and he's trying to hit the ball in the air like most players these days that have power. Well, check him out. Stand straight up and down. Just rest the bat comfortably on the shoulders, but the bat is flat.
Strike called on the inside part of the plate, and Boyd comes back with strikeouts looking of Votto and Suarez. John Hicks will get it started for the Tigers in the second.
High 8 innings, giving up 4 hits, just 1 run to the Kansas City Royals. And talking to some Cincinnati Reds people here today, this is what they've been waiting for from their big right-hander. He throws hard. He's got 4 different pitches, but he really hadn't competed a whole lot this year in the month of May. He was good in April. He struggled in May. Now they're hoping he can recapture those numbers again.
Well, he gave up a single to start the game, then got 3 outs and no damage done as Hicks gets it rolling here in the second.
He's pretty much started every hitter off with that fastball, and it's been firm. It's been in the mid-90s.
Swing and a miss. Romano was not a high draft pick. In fact, he's gone from the 23rd round to the big leagues. 2011, a 23rd rounder for Cincinnati.
You know what they say, partner. Can't teach size.
No.
He's got a lot of size, man.
He sure does.
6'5", 270.
Oh, 2 the count. It'll be Hicks, Griner, and Reyes in the Tigers' second.
He had to be a pulling guard in high school.
I would assume he played some football. Swing and a miss.
He's dealing today, though. Tigers need to figure him out because they came in thinking that they were going to get a lot of fastballs from Romano. I know that was a game report that they talked about, but at the same time, he has come out. He's thrown a lot of breaking balls here already, and he's gotten some swings and misses on that breaking ball. And I'm sure the other side, too, we're talking about Matthew Boyd and breaking balls. And Matthew's thrown a lot of fastballs, too, already today. So both pitchers have kind of flipped the script early.
96 there from Romano.
He can get up to 97. I was watching his last start, and he goes anywhere from 94 to 97. Sits at 96.
Griner is catching tonight. It'll be McCann tomorrow in the finale. I think Ron Gardenhire wanted to match up Fulmer with McCann tomorrow. So Grayson gets the call this evening. Here's the 1-1. Busting him inside at 95. Missed. 2-1 the count.
Should be a pretty good pitching matchup tomorrow. I hear the Tyler Miley kid is pretty good, pretty talented, going up against Michael Fulmer.
Griner checks it high. 3-1.
Michael Fulmer got a win in his last start.
Little chopper foul, third base side. He's starting to turn things around, isn't he?
I like Fulmer when he only has 4 strikeouts and 5 strikeouts. I just think he pitches his best baseball, man. When he pitches to contact, he gets early swings and misses. When he gets 11 and 12 strikeouts, it's good, don't get me wrong, but those seem like to be the games where he really exerts a lot of energy.
Is it hard, though, for guys that throw as hard as Fulmer does and has as good a stuff as he has to not go for the strikeouts?
Well, at times I think it's tough, Mario, but at the same time, once you become a veteran, man, and you can pitch to some contact, and you know when they get a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, you can go get that strikeout. I think that's what guys like to do.
That'll be a walk for Grayson Griner. 1-on-1 out here in the second. Tigers' second base runner of the ball game. Victor Reyes will check in now. Reyes, the start in left field for this game, batting .218. Can't imagine how tough it's been for Reyes to try and find any kind of rhythm offensively, having sat down most of the first 2 months of the year as a Rule 5 pick and not really getting a whole lot of playing time. But as we mentioned, now Ron Gardenhire getting him in more and more, and we're starting to see what he can do.
And something else that makes it difficult for Reyes is the first 6 years of his big league career. I mean, this kid was playing every single day at different levels, so he understands what the issues are, though. I mean, he's going to be here all year. He's going to pinch run for Victor like he's done most of the time. If he gets hot for about a week straight, I'm sure Ron Gardenhire will run him out there.
Why not? 1 ball, 1 strike. Reyes sends a ground ball, stabbed there by Votto. He'll go to second, 1 in the relay. Not in time.
That's a nice play by Joey.
Only the speed of Reyes beat the relay.
And ball hit right at him, 1 hopper, and it takes him right to his path to throw the ball to the shortstop, Peraza. And Peraza gets it back to Romano, but too much speed. That's a nice job by Romano, the big boy, getting over there.
2 away now for Iglesias.
And we'll see if Reyes wants to try to steal his 6th base of the year. He hasn't been caught yet.
Popped up. Second base side for Jeanette. That'll end the inning. No runs. Tigers get a walk and they strand a man. On our way to the bottom of the second in Cincinnati. June 25th through the 28th. Enjoy great savings with the weekday value pack. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and 4 sodas for as little as $20 per person. That's a pretty good deal. For tickets, go to tigers.com/value. With the Athletics coming in, the Tigers have a lot of road games heading up to the All-Star.
And they have quite a few fans here in attendance. Always a place where the Tigers have a lot of fans here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, really anywhere around the Midwest, Tigers fans travel extremely well. Here was Scooter Jeanette. Jeanette, Duvall, and Winker in the second. We obviously don't get to see National League play all that often throughout the course of the summer, but Scooter Jeanette's putting up some numbers.
He had a great year last year, and he's off to it again this season. 12 homers and 48 driven in. And for Scooter Jeanette.
He'll shoot this one in the air to center field. It's going to drop, base hit.
He can just hit, man. He's got some good numbers against lefties too, so lefties don't bother Scooter either.
27 of 33 games now, and Jeanette is hit safely in.
It's a fastball that's down. He doesn't hit it all that hard, but he's got real good balance and throughout the swing.
That'll bring up Duvall. All right, I got to look this up. What is Scooter's real name?
I don't know.
There's a ball inside. Let's see. Given name is Ryan Joseph.
I heard he gave himself the name Scooter, though.
Did he?
That's what I heard.
We got to think of nicknames for ourselves.
I like Scooter, though. I think that might be the best nickname in the big leagues. Scooter.
Duvall batting 186 on the year, has power and lots of it. He's got 11 homers, but he's hit better than 30 last couple of years.
And he's averaged 100 runs driven in.
Reds have their first hit against Boyd. Leadoff single here in the second. That'll miss inside, and now the count on Duvall. 3-0. Matthew hit a batter in the first, but then struck out Votto and Suarez looking. 3-0 is in for a strike. 3-1 on Duvall. He was an all-star in 2016. Reds have several guys this year knocking on the door for an all-star bid. Jeanette, Suarez, Votto, those guys always in the conversation.
Might be too tough for them to garner a lot of spots, though. They are a last place team.
And I was thinking of that when I was writing down these numbers. I'm thinking, you really, it's a stretch when you got a team that's 21 under to give them too many spots.
Scooter will be there, though.
You're seeing 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Good pitch, and we know that Matthew Boyd very seldom gives in fastball counts. Therefore, threw a breaking ball there to Duvall. And Duvall swung right over the top of it. I'm thinking it'll be too risky here to run Scooter Jeanette from first base with the guy standing in the batter's box that strikes out often. If he does send him and he strikes out, Griner will have no problem throwing Scooter out at second.
Swing and a miss. Wise choice. Jeanette going nowhere, and Duvall strikes out. Third punch out of the game now for Boyd. The first one swinging.
And a couple of off-speed pitches to finish off Duvall. That slider. Matthew Boyd went from throwing that slider 11% of the time last year all the way up to 33% this year. So it's been his main weapon, that slide piece.
Here is Jesse Winker. .255 batting average. It'll curl outside. 1-0. Boyd has been very good against lefties this year. That's in there for a strike. Now, you and I were talking about this before the game, Rod. The Tigers staff right now, while it is really, really good and has performed, they have a lot of guys that are pretty much the same type. I mean, you look at Hardy and Boyd, same type of pitcher.
Fires. He's the right-handed.
Yeah, he does not throw hard.
No, they don't. Liriano, when he was in there, he has 93, 94, but he throws more breaking balls than he does fastballs. They have a staff full of guys that throwing off-speed pitches this year.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Big change from previous years when they had 4 or 5 guys in the rotation throwing 95 and above.
Respacio, the Tigers pitching coach, has done a masterful job so far this year. And the bullpen is starting to come on now as well. They were really good in that series in Chicago, and you add it all up, Tigers now have won 5 straight.
Well, the Tigers really have 2 pitching coaches. They have one in the bullpen. They have one in the dugout. And Rick Anderson down in that bullpen, he's the one that gets those guys in the bullpen ready to come in the game on a nightly basis. Keeps them prepared. There's Rick hanging out down there with Drew Verhagen.
Rick Anderson spent many years as the pitching coach for Guardian in Minnesota. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and now Boyd's starting to rack up some early strikeouts. That is his 4th.
He's throwing more fastballs here tonight so far to a lot of these guys when they've been looking for the breaking balls, because that's what Matthew's done all season. He throws lots of breaking balls in fastball counts and vice versa. And good breaking ball there at the top of the strike zone to get Winker.
So here is Sal Romano now. The pitcher is batting in the 8th spot. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Ball 1. Romano this year is 1 for 21 as a hitter, and that comes out to 0.48. I know a lot of fans might be wondering why in the world you would bat your pitcher 8th instead of 9th.
Well, it's because the guy in the on-deck circle, Billy Hamilton, has a world-class speed, and he's not really an offensive player. Therefore, it really makes no sense to bat him 8th. and then bat the pitcher ninth like most traditional lineups are in the National League. We've seen a few other managers do this with guys that have real good speed. They bat the pitcher eighth and they allow a guy like Hamilton bat ninth, but not for 38 consecutive games. That's
right.
where Billy's been there for 38 consecutive games in that 9 spot.
One and two on Romano, and he'll look at the ball high and away, run the count to 2-2. Boyd in search of his 5th strikeout early in this one. And he just missed 3-2 now on Romano. Runner will go on 3-2. Little chopper in front of the plate. This will be an easy play for Griner, who throws him out, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Matthew Boyd will lead things off in the 3rd. We go to the top of the 3rd here in Cincinnati. Each team with a hit, neither team with a run. It's going to be Boyd, Martin, and Candelario facing the right-hander Romano. It's starting to cloud up a little bit around the ballpark here. Hopefully the rain will stay away. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. So here's Boyd, whose career is 1 for 4. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Boyd, Martin, and Candelario here in the 3rd. Romano gave up a walk in the 2nd, no damage, and Boyd fouls it back out of play.
Both Romano and Boyd are facing these respective lineups for the very first time. Neither pitcher has seen not one batter on the opposing team, so they're both kind of feeling in both of these offensive squads out.
The 0-2 went around, strike 3. Boyd is out of there. And Barnhart will throw him out, 1 away.
Something that Romano has been outstanding at so far, 7 of 9 in first pitch strikes. And you know Martin, he'll be swinging at that first pitch.
He drilled a single back through the box in the first inning, but did not score.
He has pretty good success when putting the first ball in play. Hits the ball extremely. I can't really remember a Tiger hitting the ball as hard as Martin consistently hits the baseball.
Typically, when we get those exit velocities on Martin, they're well over 100.
Yeah, 108, 109.
Breaker is in there for a strike, 0-1. So they play him defensively. Peraza's up the middle. They will allow some room toward the shortstop area. And Martin looks at a heater up top at 95.
Most of the fastballs that Romano has thrown today have been at the top of the strike zone. I don't know if that's by design or if he's just not able to get the ball down in the strike zone, but most fastballs top of the strike zone.
There's another one that misses high and away.
And we'll see what kind of pitcher Romano is here if he decides to throw something off speed to a dangerous fastball hitter. If he gives Martin a heater here, he might just hit it out.
Fastball. Little looper into right field. It's going to drop. Base hit. Looping single for Martin, who is now 2 for 2.
His career numbers are well over 500 in his career against Reds pitching in over 20 at bats. So he likes the Reds. He got in on him here, but Martin was able to muscle that ball in the shallow right field for a base hit.
Here's Jamer. Candelario popped up in the first inning.
And teams have really been pitching Candelario aggressive inside with fastballs. Looks like that's where Romano's going right now. He missed with the location. They wanted it in. And Ron Gardenhire was asked about Candelario today, and did he see anything in his stance, his approach, because he has scuffled a little bit lately. And Gardenhire said no, just part of the game. Teams are paying more attention to Candelario. He got off to a real good start, which means the pitching coaches and the pitchers are going to kind of focus on you a little bit more than they were at the beginning of the year. And so now it's up to Candelario to make an adjustment. That's what life in the big leagues is all about.
It's also the part of the year, I think, Rod, where guys get worn down a little bit, and I think Gardy kind of hinted toward that to Candelario. The younger players still trying to figure out how to get through 162.
That last fastball, 95 on the black inside to Candy.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2. There's another one at 95.
And Martin must have a whole lot of respect for the catcher Barnhart behind the dish, because this is the second time that he's been on first base and he hasn't attempted to steal yet. It doesn't appear that Romano at 6'5" and 270 that quick at getting the ball to home.
Flared back out of play. Candelario with 1 for 9 in that series against Chicago, but his 30 walks is still tops on the ball club. High, ball 3.
And now we'll probably see Martin on the move. Second 3-2 count and for Jamer today. And playing off what you said earlier, he still sees a lot of pitches.
Romano will walk some batters. He is almost 4 per 9 innings. Runner going, and it's fouled away, back out of play. Now Martin will turn around, head back. Castellanos waiting on deck. One out single by Martin here in the third. And again the runner goes, and again it's fouled back out of play. So Martin, who has typically driven the count deep all season long, doing it again. In fact, 5 times this year he's had a plate appearance that has lasted 10 or more pitches.
Whoa.
That's a lot. And he's up to 8 right now.
Well, he can handle that bat. That much we do know, whether he's batting left-handed or right-handed. And Martin over at first base getting his sprints in. Hit a gapper somewhere, Jamer. That will score Martin.
And that'll be inside for ball 4. And so now the Tigers have 2 men on. Another really good at bat for Candelario, who fouled off a few. Walk number 2 now for Romano. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Castellanos. Nicholas grounded out 6-3 in his first at bat. Five RBI game on Saturday in Chicago, and that tied a career high for a single game for Nicholas. It'll dive in for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, Nicholas also homered on Father's Day. His young son Liam wanted him to hit one hard on Father's Day, and he did just that for Liam. And then after the game, he said the home run was for his son and his dad. So he took care of both of them.
Nice. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There are only 2 guys in the American League right now that have more hits than Castellanos. Altuve is first. But Gene Segura out in Seattle is having himself a year.
He can hit, man.
He is second on the hit list, and then Castellanos is third with 89 hits this year. A lot of multi-hit games. Chopper to the shortstop. Could be 2. 6-4-3 and a double play to win the inning. Tigers threaten, do not score. Billy Hamilton will start things off when we go to the third.
A chance to see it now. He ran 75 feet to get there.
Whoa.
The catch probability was only 2%.
That's nuts.
I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous to make a play like that. Cervelli, who hit it for the Pittsburgh Pirates, he had to take his hat off and clap for him as well. But those are the kind of catches that Billy Hamilton makes on the regular here in Cincinnati. He really is a tremendous defender.
Offensively, it's been a different story, batting only 197, but when he gets on base, as you might expect, he will steal a bag.
There's been only one other player that has registered that 2% catch probability as an outfielder this year, and that's the Milwaukee Brewers center fielder Lorenzo Cain. And ironically, both of these guys, Hamilton and also Cain, are great defenders. We watched Cain in Kansas City, but neither guy's ever won a Gold Glove.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
You see where all the infielders are playing right now. They're all playing in closer than where they would normally play. Usually they're back a little further, but because he has world-class speed, you have to make sure you give yourself a chance to make a play if he hits the ball on the ground.
Three and one.
Yeah, you see where the infielders are.
And a walk, which is not what Boyd wanted it to do. Time for a game break now with John Keating. Well, the Indians came in with a 3-game lead. Keats over the Tigers, and they're winning their ball game tonight. And we'll get our shot at Cleveland coming up, as you mentioned, over the weekend. So
that's right.
Be a fun series. Here is Peraza. He looks at a strike.
Hamilton has 13 steals. He's over at first base. He's been caught 3 times. And Matthew Boyd, being left-handed, might be able to slow him down a little bit, but this guy loves to run, regardless of a left-hander or right-hander. Mario, I saw, and I know you saw it too. Billy Hamilton in back-to-back years stole over 100 bases in the minors. In back-to-back seasons, 103 one year and 104 one year.
Now, you've got to explain why that's such a big deal.
Dude, I mean, people are stealing 30 and 40 bags a season in the minor leagues. I mean, 100 bags?
And you only play 142 games.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is 20 less than the big leagues. That's unreal. There's a ball hammered to left field, a base hit. Hamilton will go to second and stop there, and Peraza with a solid single. That'll bring up Tucker Barnhart now. Best scoring opportunity of the ball game for the Reds. Barnhart was hit by a pitch in the first. Coming into this game, the lefty Boyd had allowed 3 runs or fewer in 10 of his 13 starts. That is how consistent that Matthew has been. Showing bunts, and he'll drop it foul. That was not good technique there. 0-1. Votto waiting on deck. Boyd was able to pitch around a hit batter in the first and a leadoff single in the second. Tigers infield chatting amongst themselves now to see how they want to play this bunt.
Kind of surprised that they would be bunting with the speed of Hamilton at second base. He already has 64 steals in his career of third.
Again, not very good technique, and now it's 0-2. So Barnhart has put himself in a hole here, unable to advance the runners. Yeah, and especially this early in the game too. I think it's kind of a different call here, but that's what the Reds want to do. Jim Riggleman is their skipper now after Brian Price was let go early in the season. The 0-2. High 1-2.
And Nico Goodrum has the responsibility of making sure that Billy Hamilton out at second base does not get too big a lead there. Iglesias, he stays at his regular position because Barnhart, when he hits the ball on the ground, he hits it to the pull field. And so it's up to Nico.
Just off the plate, level the count now, 2-2 on Barnhart. There's Votto waiting on deck.
And Joey Votto is, even though he struggles against left-handed pitching, he's outstanding with runners in scoring position.
And now he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. With nobody out here in the third. Boyd is at 46 pitches right now. Barnhart came into this game batting, get this, .410 against lefties.
Ooh.
Which was the best mark in the National League. Another reason why you wonder the bunt on the first two pitches. But he's worth count in his favor now. Runner breaks to third, and it's ball 4. That's going to load him up.
Let's take a look at our Bale Tire pitch by pitch, and Matthew Boyd's going to have to make the same kind of quality pitches that he made against Votto his first time up. First couple of pitches he stayed away from him, and then he got back in the strike zone with a slow breaking ball, and he froze him. He buckled his knees with a breaking ball right there at 80 miles an hour.
Two grand slams in his career, 352 with them loaded. 2 out of 5 this year, so Votto stepping in now with the base jam, nobody out. And it's ball 1. That one just missed. Votto caught looking in the first. 365 with men in scoring position this year. In there, a strike called.
Really good pitch there thrown by Matthew. And Votto, an outstanding hitter. He zeroed in for the fastball. Matthew did not give him the fastball. He gave him the bender. And that breaking ball landed in Griner's glove very nicely.
I don't know, trying to chase a bird off the field.
And Matthew Boyd, if you didn't hear the pregame show today, John Keating told you that Matthew Boyd, originally drafted by the Cincinnati Reds after his junior year at Oregon State, decided not to sign with him, wanted to go back to college, and he wanted to be a starter in the senior season. Turned out to be their Friday night guy, Matthew Boyd. You can pitch pretty nice if you can pitch on Friday nights in college.
Low ball 2. There was some discrepancy on what was promised, I think, to Matthew too by the Reds.
Right.
And so that didn't sit well with Boyd, and he decided, you know what, I'll just go back to school. I've got that leverage.
Made the right decision.
Yeah.
A lot of good in his life has happened. Met his lovely wife when he went back for his senior year in college.
There's the breakdown after 50. 25 strikes, 25 balls. High fly ball, right field, chasing Castellanos back. It's carrying to the wall, and it's gone. A grand slam for Joey Votto that just eluded the glove of Castellanos. I think Nick might have touched that ball. I didn't think it'd carry out.
It didn't look like it was going to carry out.
Let's see how close Castellanos gets.
Oh, it did touch a glove.
Four 4-0 Reds in the grand slam by Votto. His third career grand slam. Off the bat, it looked like a deep enough fly ball to score a run, but not enough to carry out. He got under it.
You remember what the 1-0 pitch to Votto was? That good breaking ball?
Yeah.
And then he fell behind 2-1, and he came right back with that breaking ball. In the back of Votto's mind, he knew he was going to get it. Take a look at his balance. Didn't move, didn't flinch. I mean, he was right on it. Not a bad pitch by Matthew, but sometimes, man, these hitters in the big league, especially a guy like Votto, you have to continue to change your pitch patterns to these big league hitters with guys that have been that good for a number of years. I don't know for sure, but it looked like to me that he was sitting on that breaking ball 2-1.
Suarez rolls it foul. A walk, a single, and a walk loaded the bases, and Votto cleared him, his 7th home run of the year. Well, apparently they've got a rally crow here now in Cincinnati. He's just kind of walking around the field. Here again is the 1-2. Suarez fouls it back. Bird better find a new seat because that's dangerous out there. Just ask the rally goose. Got him, strike 3. Suarez caught looking for the 2nd time in this game.
And both on fastballs. Suarez must be looking for something soft.
5 strikeouts now for Boyd. Here is Scooter Gennett. Crowd still buzzing over that home run by Votto. Gennett singled in the 2nd. He sits safely in 13 of his last 15. A wave and a miss. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Ooh.
Right out front. The count now 1-2.
Good pitch. Outstanding pitch by Boyd. It's tough to get Scooter Gennett to look like that. If my memory serves me correctly, the last time we were in this ballpark, one of the Reds hit a grand slam against us.
Is that Frazier maybe?
I believe it was Frazier.
Yeah.
Look at Scooter, man.
Well, that's his 2nd hit. Gennett's now 2 for 2.
And what Gennett is doing, man, is no fluke. I mean, the guy nearly drove in 100 runs last year.
Reds lead 4-0 in the slam by Votto. Here's Adam Duvall. Struck out in the 2nd. Line to right field, base hit. Gennett wanted to watch it through, so he will stop at 2nd, and now back-to-back hits. It's going to bring Chris Bosio out, the Tigers pitching coach. So the 2 walks in this inning have aided the Reds and hampered Boyd, and now Matthew has surrendered back-to-back hits.
Yeah, the walk that really hurt was the walk to the number 9 hitter, Billy Hamilton, who's only batting 197. And we always say that walks are the kiss of death, Mario, late in games, but they can be the kiss of death early in games too.
Yeah, they can help set the tone for the opponents if they take advantage, and the Reds certainly have done that here in the third. Did you notice Votto as he was rounding third and coming home and hitting the plate?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Was he mocking the rally goose there?
He will do something stupid like that from time to time.
We don't know that's what he was doing for sure, but
it looked like it.
It looked like it. It's all right. You can mock all you want. Meanwhile, the Crow.
Votto's that same guy, man, that will run down the line in an opposing team's ballpark and pick up a foul ball and then pretend like he's going to give it to a kid and then pull it back and then run in the dugout with the ball.
You've seen him do that?
I've seen him do that.
That's not good.
I've seen him do that.
That is not good.
Yeah, he gets the crowd fired up.
Winker fouls it back.
And of course, he's doing it in fun and having fun with it, but he does it.
Winker struck out in the second. This is the 8th man at bat in the inning now for the Reds. Now Boyd just missing and/or is not getting the call. And this inning started with a walk to the number 9 hitter Hamilton. In there, a strike. Whoa, 31 now here in the third. And that has jumped his pitch count up to 65. Here's the 1-2. Little chopper to the first base side. Hicks will tag the bag. That's all he's going to get. Runners will advance with 2 gone.
If you're Ron Gardenhire, you don't really like to see the high pitch total already thrown by Matthew Boyd here in the third frame. But if there's any consolation, I mean, Michael Fulmer's pitching tomorrow. And most of the time when Michael goes out there, he's going to give you 7 innings, on many nights 8 innings. So if you have to dip into your bullpen quite a bit today, it's not all bad. They had a day off yesterday. They got a day off on Thursday.
Check swing roller toward third. Hopefully it'll roll foul, and it will.
I'm surprised Boyd didn't pick that ball up and shuffle it foul so it didn't come back fair, unless he couldn't get there.
It's going to take a while for Romano to get back at home plate now.
Look at Boyd. I'm thinking, shuffle that thing foul. He ran right past it.
Tigers have action in the bullpen. Warwick Soppold warming up early in this one.
You wasn't kidding about Romano.
He's still walking back.
Yeah, yeah. Taking his sweet time, trying to catch his breath.
Well, his teammates have given him a 4-run lead. 2 walks, 4 hits in the inning. Ground ball back up the middle. Fielded by Goodrum, and that'll end the inning. They send 9 men to the plate. Score 4 times on the grand slam by Joey Votto. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Belt Tire. tomorrow night. Purchase any June through August University Day ticket package for as little as $29, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. All packages include a mezzanine ticket, FSD University Days themed hat, and a $5 donation. If you'd like more information, go to tigers.com/summer break. Well, we mentioned it's getting a little darker around the ballpark clouds-wise, and there you go. They're starting to roll in. Whether or not they'll bring rain, we'll see. Hopefully not. Nico Goodrum will start things off for the Tigers. Got some work to do now. It'll be Goodrum, Hicks, and Griner. Romano back to the hill. He struck Goodrum out in his first at bat, and Nico takes a strike. Fastball right down the middle. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball toward the hole. Going to be a base hit. Out of the reach of the shortstop Peraza. Leadoff man on. We check in now with Johnny Kane.
Well, Mario, we, every time we come to a stadium, we hear a lot of great stories from different individuals, and we have a really neat story here with Mary, Brady, and Shane. Yeah. And Mary, I'd like for you to tell a little bit of your story of why it's so special for you boys being here tonight.
Absolutely. So back in 2008, we suffered a tragic loss. The boys' father passed away, and they were little. They were 8 and 10. And that year, as we were approaching his first birthday, without him, I wanted to do something with the boys to kind of help soften the blow of the first year. And we raised them to play. They were playing baseball, and he helped coach, and we've always been a sports family. So I thought, we're going to go to see the Tigers play on an away trip. And so off we went, and it turned into a tradition. And now we've done it. This is our 10th year, and they're grown men now, 18 and 21, but it is the highlight of my year for sure.
It's a beautiful tradition you guys are carrying on. Brady, how important is it for you to be able to carry on your dad's memory in this way?
It's amazing. I mean, he was a great guy, and he really got me to love the game of baseball. I mean, it's my favorite sport. I watch the Tigers all the time, watch Mario and Rod and Kirk and you out there, and listen to Dan Dickerson and Jim, and just doing this, it's amazing. I mean, it helps keep his memory alive, help keep the just tradition of family and sports and just all that means to us, keeping it alive.
Absolutely. 10 straight years now. Shane, give me your best memory, your best story of being at a ballpark over the last 10 years.
Our first year back in 2008 when we were in Cleveland seeing the Indians play the Tigers, Gary Sheffield and Fausto Carmona got into a bench clearing brawl. Like, punches were thrown. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then after the game, we went to the Tigers hotel where they were staying, and Gary came up to me, my brother Brady, and my 2 cousins who were actually watching at home. What's up, Allie? What's up, Beans? How you guys doing? And he apologized to us, like right to us, and just said that fighting's never the answer. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty
Gary
cool.
Sheffield, man.
That is cool. Hey, Shane, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for telling your story, Brady. Good to see you.
Thanks,
and thanks for doing what you do, Mary. We really appreciate it. You raised a couple of good boys here.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Johnny, thank you. What a great story there.
Johnny better be careful. Shane got some good pipes.
Yeah, he does. And I remember that Sheffield Carmona.
I do remember that. Carmona picked Gary up.
How about Shep apologizing for that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Shep was good people, man. I enjoyed Sheffield thoroughly. I know he was misread by a lot of people, but deep down, Gary Sheffield had a great heart.
2 balls and 1 strike on Grayson Griner, who walked in the second inning. 1 on, 1 out for the Tigers. Ground ball or line drive, I should say, right at the bag, and Votto tags the bag for a double play.
Is it fair?
Line 3 turns into 2, and that'll be it for the Tigers here in the 4th. pitch.
And Joey Votto doing it all tonight against the Tigers. Hit a grand slam, and he keeps this ball fair by grabbing it. And before that ball goes foul, at least that's what home first base umpire Sam Holbrook said. It was no argument at all from the Tigers dugout.
Billy Hamilton will lead things off. It'll be Hamilton, then Peraza, and then Barnhart facing Matthew Boyd, who went better than 30 pitches in that third inning in which he gave up the grand slam to Joey Votto. Ground ball to short, gobbled up there by Iglesias. One away. Fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Brought to you by Miller Lite. One away now for Jose Peraza. He'll take a ball high, 1-0. Peraza with a single and a fly ball. His base hit kept the chain rolling in the third prior to the grand slam by Votto. Boyd trying to get that pitch count back in shape after that lengthy third. Two-0 is inside, 3-0. Boyd got into trouble with 2 walks in that third. And here is Matthews, 3-0. High ball 4. It's another walk.
First time really we've seen Matthew kind of struggle with his command, the way that he's struggling with his command tonight against the Reds. He is usually first pitch strikes, and he's usually able to expand the strike zone and get lots of soft contact. But tonight it's been a struggle for Matthew.
Third walk of the game for Boyd, and that'll bring up Tucker Barnhart, who probably had one of the bigger at bats in that third inning. He tried to bunt 2 runners up and got himself behind in the count 0-2, and then Boyd ended up walking him. And that was the precursor to the Votto grand slam. Boyd's season high in walks is 4 this year. Oh, 2 on Barnhart. Mentioned Barnhart, a Gold Glove winner. Only 2 other Reds catchers have won the Gold Glove. Johnny Edwards, that was back in the 60s, and I'm sure you could name the other one. Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
10 times.
He was a 10-time Gold Glove winner.
10 times. Oh, 2 on Barnhart. Pulled on the ground to third. It's a fair ball. It'll go to the corner. Coming to third base is Peraza. They're going to send him home. Iglesias' relay not in time. It's a double and an RBI for Tucker Barnhart.
And then Barnhart gets a breaking ball at 74 and hits it right down the third baseline. And Jamer Candelario got over there, didn't need to leave his feet. The ball just fair. And by the time Reyes gets over to pick it up, there's Peraza scoring.
DJ Rayburn did a nice job of avoiding that ball. Third base umpire. Here's Votto.
There's another walk to score.
3 of the walks have scored now. Actually, all 3, I should say. Votto with a slam, his third career grand slam in his last at bat. Driven in the air to right field. Castellanos is on the move. He'll get there. 2 outs. That'll bring up Suarez.
And Boyd has struck out Suarez twice today looking at fastballs.
Ripped up the middle and caught on a line by Goodrum, and that'll end the inning. They'll get another run of the Barnhart RBI double, and Victor Reyes will start off the 5th. Promoted to Double-A Erie yesterday, Daz Cameron and Alex Faedo.
And a couple of guys that are in the top 10 as far as prospects are concerned.
Faedo, the Tigers' first-round pick last year. Daz Cameron came over in the Justin Verlander trade.
And Daz Cameron, outstanding center fielder with some outstanding athletic ability.
7, 8, 9 coming up here in the 5th inning as Reyes leads it off and looks at a strike, tried to bunt his way on.
And not a bad idea by Victor. He's got really good speed. Suarez was giving him a little room down at third base.
Hard hit ball his first time up at right at Votto, reaching on a fielder's choice. And Reyes looks at a ball high, 1-1. Victor is safely in 6 of his last 8. Little chopper to the right side, and again it's Votto. He'll take it himself.
Here's a look at Alex Faedo. He was the #1 draft choice of the Tigers 2 years ago. And he was pitching in A-ball, but he was pitching very well, so they have elevated him to Double-A. A 3.10 ERA, 51 strikeouts, 13 walks. He's got all 4 pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, and change. And he also has real nice pitchability. I saw him pitch a game in spring training down in Lakeland. I was very impressed with Faedo.
I remember talking to you after you had seen that game that he threw down in spring training, and you were extremely excited about his future.
Yeah, he and Matt Manning pitched against each other one day in spring training. They pitched about 3 innings against each other. It was a camp game down there, so you get excited about those camp games, especially when you have the last 2 draft choices. #1 draft choice is pitching against one another, so it was very entertaining. Manning showed some nice pitchability as well. But Faedo appeared to be the closest to the big leagues of a lot of those guys down there. I don't know. He pitched at a really good college, man. He gets it.
Iglesias, it'll pop up back at first, might drop, it does. Base hit. Little bloop single for the Tigers here in the 5th.
Now here's a little bit of Daz Cameron, who came over from the Houston Astros, their former high round draft choice of the Astros. He comes from baseball bloodlines, his dad, and played in the big leagues a long time. Good center fielder, strong hands, good speed. You know, once you get to Double-A, man, you get close.
Yeah.
And there have been several guys that go straight from Double-A to the big leagues.
And with the center field out in Comerica Park, a lot of ground to cover. Daz Cameron could be a big part of the future.
Boy, done tonight.
Dixon Machado pinch hitting for him, and he'll take a strike. So Matthew is done after 4 innings this evening.
Yeah, he had one other start this year where he lasted just 4 innings. That was against Minnesota, but he left that one with a cramp or something that day.
His side, I think.
It was something.
Yeah.
So his shortest outing of the year without leaving for an injury.
Warwick Soppold will be coming in next. Grand slam in the 3rd and an RBI double by Barnhart in the 4th inning. 5 runs in for Cincinnati. Machado swings and misses, and down he goes. 4 strikeouts now for Romano.
Romano is picking up here tonight against the Tigers, and right where he left off in his last outing against the Kansas City Royals, pitching a career high 8 innings and giving up just 4 hits to the Royals. Royals traded away their closer a couple of days ago to the Washington Nationals. Kelvin Herrera, the hard-throwing right-hander, now a Washington National. What'd you think about that trade?
Well, we know what Herrera can do, and I think the Nationals got a good one, but he is not, in my opinion, the Herrera that existed with Herrera, Davis, and Holland in those days.
So you like him better in the 7th inning, then, is what you're saying? Not so much tonight.
Yeah, I do, but you know what? An arm's an arm, and he's got a good one. So,
but they got Doolittle closing for them in Washington, so he is going to pitch the 7th and the 8th in Washington.
Fouled back out of play. Are you surprised that Dayton Moore struck this early?
Well, I think he got himself a good deal. I think he got a fair deal. I believe they got back 2 pitching prospects and an infielder, and I've heard some good things on the prospects. And like a lot of the Tigers deals that we made last year, you really don't know what kind of kids you're getting until you get them in your spring training and you get them in your big league camp and you start to see them on a daily basis. Like we got a chance to know Candelario last year a little bit.
Martine rifles one foul.
Don't get hurt down there, girl.
It's another hard hit ball off the bat of Leonis. You got to get out of the way of those. Man.
Yeah. That one came in hot.
107 to be exact.
He sees the ball awfully well against the Cincinnati Reds for some reason. His batting average over 500. That's a nice job there by Barnhart. I mean, that ball bounced about 3 feet in front of the home plate. He blocked it like it was nothing. Check him out. Softened the body, got it in front, right at the chest protector, and right down in front of him. That's textbook.
Two and two on Leonis. 2 singles in this game.
Yeah, one thing we know about the Tigers, and they will continue to try to put some pressure on this Royals team. Reds, excuse me. Barnhart's last start was against the Royals.
Hey, we're just talking about the Royals too. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes, and a foul at home plate. Iglesias has been very aggressive this year. Ron Gardenhire said something I thought was interesting before the game today concerning Iglesias. He pretty much has let him go. And that has created a pretty good bond between the manager and the player, Iglesias.
But he also said they have a really nice relationship. They talk all the time. He tells them when you're going to be off. Just a really nice relationship, he says, they've been able to build.
Iglesias 11 steals, which ties his career high for a single season. Going again, and Barnhart's throw is on the money and dropped. Stolen base.
It's a nice slide by Iglesias. The ball is dropped, but take a look at the slide by Iglesias as he tries to slide out to that furthest part of the bag that he can slide out with that right foot. It's the 12th steal of the year now for Jose.
And he grounded that one foul to stay alive. The 12 steals now, a career high for Iglesias.
And we're not even in July yet.
He stole 11 back in 2015. Three and two on Leonis Martin. Tigers trying to get on the board here in the fifth. Here's the 3-2. And he walked it, ball four. Two on, two outs.
Here's our call, Sam, call of the game. We talked about Leon. This is not, Iglesias, and not only Iglesias, but several of his teammates. They all steal lots of bases, and we talked about a career high now for Jose at 12. He's still second, he steals third. He's been fearless, and one of the reasons why he's been fearless is Gardenhire has given him the green light to run whenever he wants to, unless he might stop him occasionally.
Hey, let's check in while we have a moment with Johnny Kane.
Yeah, guys, going back to Jose Iglesias, and you hit on it there with Ron Gardenhire saying, you know, they've obviously got the communication lines wide open. You know, he says he's got great instincts. He's willing to gamble a little bit on the base pass, read pitchers really well, even more so than he had early in his career. When I asked Iggy, I said, what's been the biggest thing that's helped you become a better base stealer? He said, I mix in a salad every now and then. And, I mean, he smiled and gave that classic wink, but he said nutrition's important. He tries to keep in shape, and honestly, he's fit physically, and that's helped him get around the base pass.
Johnny, you had a salad for dinner last night, right?
Johnny's mixing quite a few salads.
Well, last night, no, we had a full slab of ribs, but I had a salad tonight. And probably tomorrow after that slab. Yeah,
we went to the Montgomery Inn here in Cincinnati, known for the ribs, and, well, we found out why.
Yeah, we tore that place up last night.
Candelario looks at ball one high. Here's what Johnny had last night. He took a picture for us.
Huh? You had the same thing.
You know what? I did, but you know what? You finished yours in about 3 minutes.
Not true. Not true.
It took me about a half hour.
Rod Allen took the rest of his home, put it in the mini fridge.
I sure did.
Is it still in there?
No, I ate it last night.
Okay.
There's a strike called on Jamer.
Couldn't resist.
Walking a pop-up for Candelario. Tigers chance to get back in this game now, down 5-0, 2 on, 2 outs. Now Romano's 1-1. Ripped right to first on a one-hop. Joey Votto scoops it, and that'll end the inning. Another hard-hit ball. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Scooter Jeanette will lead things off.
lasted just 4 innings against the Cincinnati Reds here this evening. Cincinnati had some good swings against Matthew Boyd. He didn't help himself either. He walked a couple of batters in the 3rd frame, and then all of a sudden a grand slam to Joey Votto, and that was the 4 runs they scored off Matthew Boyd. So just not Matthew's day here today. And it didn't just get it done, and we haven't really said that often about Matthew.
So Boyd walked 3 and all of them scored. It's 5-0 Cincinnati as we send Scooter Gennett to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. Gennett 2 singles. Fouled back out of play. We've got a new pitcher now with Boyd out of the game. It's a wall side window's changed, and here is Warwick Sopple.
And Warwick has done nice work out of the Tigers bullpen this year, pitching in his 27th game, a 3.77 ERA. Not a lot of strikeouts. Doesn't walk a lot of people. Fastball, cutter, slider for Warwick Sopple.
Well, we know this, the Tiger bullpen in this 5-game win streak has allowed just 1 run. They've been outstanding. So
ERA at 0.50. That's how good they've been.
Ground ball to short. Right there is Iglesias, and Gennett is out for the first time tonight. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. We're talking about the Tigers bullpen. Here are those numbers graphically for you. 197, the opponent's average.
20 strikeouts. They've only walked 4, so that's big in the 17 and the 3rd innings that the bullpen has logged during the 5-game winning streak.
Here's Adam Duvall. Single strikeout for Duvall. Boyd struck out 5 before departing. Reds came in at 26 and 45. They made a change early in the season. Brian Price was let go from his managerial duties.
Yeah, they got off to a 3-15 start this year, and that got Brian Price's walking papers.
Mac Jenkins as well, their pitching coach, gone. Danny Darwin has taken over in that capacity. Jim Riggleman, the new interim manager here, and he's had plenty of experience managing.
Yes, he has.
And the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Adam Duvall. Jesse Winker will follow. I think you made a good point earlier in the ball game, right, about Tigers going to the bullpen here with Boyd lasting only 4 innings. That typically is not what you want to see in terms of salvaging your bullpen. But Fulmer tomorrow, and he usually doesn't need much help.
Yeah, he's going to be out there for a while on most nights.
Off day yesterday for the Tigers. Well, there's another walk. It's a 1-out base on balls. Fans relive the memories of the magical 1968 season. Tigers 1968 50th anniversary luncheon Friday, September 7th at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Hear from members of the 68 team. You'll take photos with the World Series trophy and a whole lot more. A limited number of tickets on sale now. Tigers.com/68 luncheon. If you'd like to participate. Tigers celebrating the 68 team all season long. Oh, and 1 the count. Jesse Winker. Look at rain starting to fall now here in Cincinnati. One ball and 1 strike.
Well, let's hope that it's nothing serious, but a lot of folks are heading for cover. You don't see a lot of folk with rain gear like they wasn't planning for this.
Nope, you're right. I don't think it's going to be anything heavy here this evening. The forecast called for some light rain. It's certainly right now something they can play through. Remember when we came here in 2015, that rainstorm they had?
I do remember that.
It rained as hard as I've ever seen it rain anywhere. Tigers had to come back and make that game up. Now Sappold missing again. 3-1 on Jesse Winker.
And for whatever reason today, the Tigers are not commanding that strike zone as efficiently as they have been during the 5-game winning streak.
Drill to right field. Castellanos runs it down.
That was an absolute bullet. And that's what happens when you get yourself in 3-1 counts, and there's already been 4 base on balls in the game today. You know you're going to get a good fastball to hit, and Winker, he jumped all over that thing. It left his bat at 111.
Ooh.
Smoked. And it sounded loud too.
Here is Sal Romano, the pitcher. Romano is 0 for 2 and now 1 for 23 this season.
He ain't getting cheated up there.
No, not at all.
He's up there swinging that stick.
His one hit this year is the double. One and two. Swing and a miss. Romano is down, and that'll do it for the Reds here in the 5th inning. No runs, a walk, and 1 man left. It'll be Castellanos to lead it on.
And Nicholas Castellanos homered 3 times over the weekend series in Chicago, twice on Saturday, 1 to right, the other to left. And then on Sunday, on Father's Day, he homered again to left field on a breaking ball. So Nicholas Castellanos definitely showing off his power over the weekend.
You know, Rod, the Tigers were not concerned about Castellanos. He's been their best hitter all season long, but he was 0 for 19. There was some cause for concern, but what have you seen in him to turn that thing around?
Well, I just thought he got the pitchers to come back to him a little bit. I thought he was chasing, and that happens when you're going as good as Nicholas was going. The pitchers aren't going to give you a whole lot to hit, and he didn't recognize it for a while, but then he finally recognized that they weren't getting anything to hit. He made him start throwing the ball over the plate, and that's when he did some damage.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to do some damage here as Castellanos will get things started here for the Tigers as we go to the 6th inning now in Cincinnati. Game 1 in a 2-game series here. The Reds lead 5-0. Joey Votto has hit a grand slam in this game. Romano goes to work. It's a fastball high at 93 miles an hour.
And meanwhile, Romano is dealing out there. I mean, he hasn't given up a run. There hasn't been a whole lot of hard contact. Just 4 base hits off the big right-hander.
Well, you double up this game with his last start. He's given up 1 earned run now in his last 13 innings.
He pitched well in the month of April, really struggled in the month of May, and he's come back to try to turn it around in the last couple of starts of June.
Castellanos swings and misses through 95.
Most of those 95-mile-per-hour fastballs have been at the top of the zone here today.
Nick bouncing into a double play in the third. He grounded out 6-3 in the first. Pulled on the ground, foul. Outside of the bag at third.
Kick save and a beauty down there by the ball girl.
$80 now for Romano, 54 strikes. Swing and a miss. It'll get by Barnhart. He's going to run it down though and throw him out. Tough day for Nick. 1 gone.
Well, Romano doing a very nice job of mixing in everything. Fastballs up and then finally goes downstairs with a breaking ball at 88. Nasty breaking ball. That one had some tilt on it.
Here is Nico Goodrum. Single strikeout for Nico. I know it's only been a couple of months for Goodrum, but I just wonder, and it's, I know baseball is a weird game. It's a very funny game. But how Nico could go 8 years in the minor leagues and not even sniff the major leagues with the Minnesota Twins, and
with all his talent.
I mean, he can do so many different things. He hits with power. He can run. He can play multiple positions. Just
makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder. It really does. Tigers glad to have him though. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Goodrum. Nico has played 6 positions this year. First, second, third, short, left, right. He is DH'd.
Just a matter of time before he gets out in the center field.
It'll bounce low. 3-2 now on Goodrum.
I told you I met Nico's dad at the team hotel on Sunday before I came to the ballpark. His name is Tim, and you can see where Nico gets his size from.
Nico waiting on a 3-2. Popped up foul, heading back to the seats and out of play. His dad play any sports? Do you know?
He looked like he played something, but I don't know for sure. But he sure looked like he played some sports.
Well, Nico looks like he would be comfortable on a baseball field, a basketball court, a football field. Goodrum looks at ball 4. So the Tigers have a 1-out base runner. Well, this past weekend, Fox Sports Detroit won a network record 15 Emmy Awards. The 2 notable winners were Tigers-themed telecast, the final game at Joe Louis Arena. Mark Isofano for his directing, John Keating for his writing. We congratulate all of them and all of our colleagues and the rest of the 2017 Emmy award winners.
Well, Mark Isofano is directing our telecast tonight.
He is indeed.
John Keating, he writes too, and he does everything.
He sure does. Oh, and 1 on Hicks. Nobody has a deeper bag of funnies than John Keating.
No, man, he gets up early to write that stuff too now. Don't think that stuff writes itself.
No, it doesn't. Hicks swings and misses. 0-2. Raising on the fielder's choice in his last at bat. Hicks struck out on the second. Popped him up. Barnhart discarding the mask. Now he's going to be called off by Votto. Much easier play for Votto. 2 away. Well, we're going back to college down with Nissan as Grayson Griner comes strolling in. Griner played for a really good college baseball program, South Carolina, and these are his numbers there as a Gamecock, 2012 to 2014.
18 homers. He drove in 120.
It was the Johnny Bench Award semifinalist in 2014, which is the award given out to the top college catcher. Whistled foul down the right field line.
Romano continues to throw a ton of first pitch strikes. And that's really one of the main reasons why he has been so effective here today, because once he gets ahead, he expands the strike zone. There's that number right there, 16 of 24. Tigers with 4 singles tonight.
Griner rolls one to third, foul.
Kind of looking like the day off wasn't a good day off for the boys. They was rolling 5 in a row.
I was wondering about that. You know, they say that so many times. When a team is hot, you really don't want to stop the momentum.
Momentum was rolling sky high.
But there's nothing like an off day in baseball. Especially the Tigers had, what, 17 straight?
Yes, they did.
And they got a stretch of 20 in a row coming up. Actually, might have been 18 straight. The 0-2, and Griner takes it outside. Romano thought he had him.
And Jim Leland used to always say momentum is your next day's starting pitcher, but I agree with that. But in this case, the Tigers had 5 days in a row. They would have assumed just keep on playing.
He went around, strike 3.
That slider's dirty that Romano is featuring here tonight with his big old self.
6 strikeouts. The speedster Billy Hamilton will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th.
Gladys Knight.
Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Back here in Cincinnati, where light rain has been falling, the Tigers are down 5-0. Joey Votto has hit a grand slam in this game. Warwick Soppold back to the hill.
And you saw Jamer Candelario, and Tigers' third baseman, about 10 feet on the infield grass because of the speed of Billy Hamilton. Hamilton is an 80 runner, which is the top of the scale as far as speed is concerned when evaluating young players. The scale goes from 20 to 80. 50 is pretty good, but he's at 80, so he's an extraordinary runner. I'd like to see him in Buxton line up and run a 60-yard dash.
Well, here's a question for you. He is hitting, or was hitting, 197 coming in. With all that speed, he has only 2 bunt hits this year.
Well, he's going to find himself as a 4th or 5th outfielder partner if he doesn't start to hit a little bit better. I mean, that may sound harsh, but with all that speed, you have to be able to put the ball in play. And really, with all that speed, Billy should not be hitting under 200. And that's a great point. He should bunt more.
Walked and scored in the 3rd and bounced out in the 4th.
As a matter of fact, he had 3 hits yesterday and said he was feeling good. He's still very confident that he can be a good big league hitter.
Down the right field line. He has launched this one into the seats. Well, he won't need his speed for this one. He is homered.
That's his 3rd homer of the year. Yeah, but Billy was saying yesterday after his 3 hits, he knows he's got his haters out there, people that don't think that he should be playing, but he appreciates the organization continuing to give him opportunities to play.
Well, he got a hold of this one.
He got a breaking ball, and a lot of times, man, left-handers bat ball down and in. That's their nitro zone. All he did was just drop his bat in the zone, and you can see how quickly his bat got through the strike zone. That's when you start talking about a pitch that speeds up the bat. That sped up the bat, and he made good, solid contact.
Here is Peraza. I still think even if he's hitting around 200, 220, his defense in center field makes it worthwhile to put him out there.
You do?
I guess it depends on what ball club, but yes. Good play there by Iglesias on the backhand, 1 gone. It'll bring up Barnhart.
Well, he's a great defender, and I know that's the main reason why he's still in there batting 200. If he did not have all that speed and he did not change the game on the defensive end, he probably would not be playing.
Here is Tucker Barnhart. 2nd home run for the Reds in this game. The other, the grand slam by Votto.
Can also display some patience if you're the Cincinnati Reds. It appears that they're in rebuilding mode like a lot of other teams in the big leagues. There's Jim Riggleman. Managed Seattle. Managed the Nationals, the Cubs, the Padres. Took the Cubs to the postseason. They won the wild card back in '98 under Riggleman. Jim's a good man too. You know him personally?
Well, I knew him in the minor leagues when he was managing in the Padres system in the Pacific Coast. I got to know him a little bit, but that was, you know, a good 20 years ago now. So
yeah, he's good people. I mean, he's a lot like Ron Gardenhire. I mean, you have a lot of younger managers getting the managerial opportunities these days, and you have a couple of veterans in Riggleman and Gardenhire who are managing their teams. We've seen a shift in the youth,
yeah,
as far as managers are concerned in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of managers out there, little old school managers, that are very appreciative of the job that Ron Gardenhire is doing, because it might give one of those other veteran managers another opportunity to manage if Ron continues to do the job he's doing.
Two and two on Barnhart. The Reds have added one more in the Hamilton homer. Soppold came on in the 5th inning. Boyd lasted 4 in this game before being lifted for a pinch hitter. 3-2. Joey Votto waiting on deck. Drilled to center field, base hit.
They got their hitting shoes on tonight. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Yeah, back in the third inning after a couple of base on balls, Joey Votto stepped to the dish with the bases loaded. Really hadn't been doing all that well this year against left-handers. He got a breaking ball in a 2-1 count at 72 miles an hour. Nicholas Castellanos always made a real nice play, and then Votto comes home to score.
Votto's home run was his 7th of the year. That almost hit him. Votto is one of the more animated players at home plate. Likes to jump around, skip around. Two balls, no strikes on Joey Votto.
And dangerous count here if you decide to throw Votto a fastball. He has outstanding bat-to-ball skills. 300 every year. On base percentage over 400 every single season.
Here's the 2-0. 2-1. There are only 3 actives right now that have at least 1,600 hits and 1,000 walks. Votto is one of them. The other 2, Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols.
Ooh, that's good company.
Votto born in Toronto. Waiting on a 2-1 pitch.
We were scheduled to talk about some of our favorite cities on the road today in the pregame show, but we had some technical difficulties. Toronto was on my list.
Number 2 on your list, or
had it up top?
Oh, number 1.
I love to go visit in that town.
Hey, there's another walk for Votto. Let's bring in Johnny Kane.
Well, guys, Eugenio Suarez coming to the plate right now. Had a chance to talk with him before the game. He was laughing it up with a couple of his good buddies, Dixon Machado and Ronnie Rodriguez. Of course, Suarez was, with the Tigers, traded after the 2014 season, his rookie campaign. It's just the second time he's facing his former club, and he said, no, I have no hard feelings. That's the business of baseball. And he said, you know what? I think they got a pretty good young third baseman in Jamer Candelario. Said, I'm happy. My heart's in Cincinnati now. And he says, I just want to play baseball.
You know, Johnny and Rod, when Suarez was with the Tigers, a lot has been made about how to let the Tigers let this one get away, but he was batting .240 with the Tigers, limited power.
Well, I think the Tigers basically chose Iglesias over Suarez.
Correct.
Which is why he was expendable, because at the time he was a shortstop.
Right. Yeah, he was moved as a shortstop, and certainly once they found a position for him here in Cincinnati, he's had great production. Sometimes a change of scenery can do a guy good.
I've heard some great things about him today, Johnny. I was talking to some of their announcers today, and they said that he has turned out to be quite the young man. He has matured into a husband, a father, and a really good teammate and a really good leader. He's having an outstanding run here in Cincinnati. Well, they signed him to a 7-year contract.
Yeah, they did. With an option for an 8th year. Now he's up at the count, 2-0. Fouled away, 2-1. Reds trying to build on their 6-0 lead. Suarez 0 for 3. That 7-year deal they signed him to will get him through 2024. Low and away. And now Saupold digging a hole here, 3-1.
And Saupold is a guy that usually does not have issues with his command. Never has since coming to the big leagues last year.
There's a base hit to right field. Barnhart coming to third. They're going to stop him. And Suarez has his first hit of the night. They are loaded up now.
And Suarez just went with the pitch. It's a fastball down and away, and he just hit the ball right past John Hicks. It's a nice piece of hitting by Eugenio.
Suarez now a 9-game hitting streak. More action. Drew Verhagen warming up. Here is Scooter Gennett. Popped him up. That'll help. Goodrum out to short right field is called off. Nick makes the play, and the runners will hold.
It's a nice job there by Sapo getting one of their better hitters out. And with the bases loaded and just one out. Good fastball up top to Gennett that he chased and popped straight up.
That'll leave it up to Adam Duvall.
And Duvall, as we told you earlier, back-to-back seasons in 2016 and 17 with 30 homers and 100 driven in. So he's a nice run producer.
Single walk for Duvall. Swing and a miss. Tigers pitching in this game with 5 walks. Pulled foul. Look out.
And Billy Hatcher, third base coach for the Cincinnati Reds. He's been on their staff for 13 years. Billy had some nice hits in the postseason back in the day for the Houston Astros.
Oh, 0-2 the count on Duvall. Tigers don't want this thing to get out of hand here. They need to get Duvall. Wouldn't chase the breaking ball. 1-2.
It's a nice block there by Griner. If you call for that breaking ball with a runner on third base, you have to make sure you get down and you block it. That 6'6" frame, he does it perfectly.
Went out there again. 2-2. Sappold has had 47 pitches now in his relief effort, which started in the 5th. Now Warwick with the 2-2. Line to right field, and Castellanos can't get it. It's going to go to the wall. Barnhart scores. Votto scores. Suarez will be held at third. It's a 2-out, 2-base hit for Adam Duvall.
And nice piece of hitting there by Duvall. He had an idea, maybe a breaking ball, 80 miles an hour. Just kind of went with it and sliced it past Castellanos. And by the time Castellanos picks it up, a couple of more runs score.
A 3-run inning. It's now 8-0 Cincinnati, and we'll be back. 8-0 in this ball game now. The Spurs hanging out on the field. Well set windows, pitching change. Drew Verhagen coming on.
And Verhagen was starting down in Toledo. Had one start at this level when he came back, but lately back in that bullpen.
Jesse Winker looks at a strike. 2-out, 2-run double by Duvall chasing Supple. Warwick goes an inning and 2/3, gave up 2 walks, a homer, 4 hits. He is responsible for Duvall at second.
And Tigers haven't been very fortunate today as far as the base on balls are concerned. 4 of the 5 walks today have come around to touch home plate.
Slaps had a play. 0-2. Line out, ground out, strikeout for Winker. He is the 8th man to bat here in the 6th. Reds sent 9 men to the plate in the 3rd. He went around, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 3 runs in for the Reds. Alex Faedo, one of the top pitching prospects for the Tigers, made his Double-A debut tonight. John Keating has more when we come back. The 7th inning, they've not been able to solve Sal Romano, who is still out there. He's got the bottom 3, Reyes, Iglesias, and the pitcher spot. 6 strikeouts for the burly right-hander. Ball 1 high to Reyes.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Sal Romano. Ooh, 98. I must have missed that one. But he's been up to 98 and as low as 82. No wonder why the big fella's dealing today. A lot of first pitch strikes. Not a lot of hard hit balls off Romano. His 2nd consecutive really good start.
Reyes has pulled him twice, hitting the ball on the ground 2 times to Votto at first. 1-2 on Victor. Sliced foul to left field. So Romano now is about to throw his 100th pitch of the evening. .106 in his last start against the Royals. Also his season high. Here are the numbers now by inning. In fact, that last start was the first time he went 100 pitches or more in a game. Now he's got that will plateau again here tonight. The 1-2. Straighten him up, 2-2. Reds now have some activity in their bullpen. Well, he's no longer warming. That was David Hernandez. Stroke to center field on a line, but Hamilton is there. One away. So Reyes hit the ball pretty hard 3 times tonight. Nothing to show for it, though. That'll bring up Iglesias.
Yeah, how has Romano gotten it done here this evening? What is his pitch usage? 61%. With that fastball, he used the slider and the curveball about the same amount of time, and the changeup not very often. But the key for him has been the first pitch strike.
Tigers have been involved in so many close games this year, a lot of one-run games. You don't normally see an 8-0 score in one of their contests. That sprayed foul back out of play on 2.
Now, there hasn't been many lopsided losses this year for the Tigers.
Ah, there he is. Hernandez now beginning to warm up. That's drilled to center field. Hamilton on the run. A couple of hard hit balls to dead center.
It looked like Hamilton, even before the ball was made contact by Iglesias, it looked like and Billy was already on the run. And what is not a routine play he made look just rather routine.
That's what speed do.
Yes, that's what it do. That's what Gerard Dyson said.
Verhagen batting.
Make it do what it do.
2 outs, nobody on. Chopper to the second baseman, Jeanette. And Romano, 7 scoreless here tonight against the Tigers. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. continued their winning ways against the Rays, down by 4 runs earlier in the game. They came back to win it in the bottom of the ninth. Alex Bregman, a 2-run walk-off double to center field. That wins the Astros' 12th consecutive victory, tying a franchise record.
How about that?
No playoff hangover for them, and they are 1-1 right now in the top of the 5th inning with the Rays.
Remember about 2 weeks ago when Seattle took over first place from Houston?
I did.
It woke them up. The Astros woke up after that, and they've reeled off 12 straight. But Seattle not going anywhere. They're hanging in there.
Seattle's 20 over, and they're in 2nd place. NAL West, Angels are a little over 500. So Drew Verhagen goes back to the hill now here in the bottom of the 7th. Schebler is going to pinch hit for Romano. Romano done for the evening. 1 earned run in his last 15 innings for the Cincinnati right-hander. Man, he is dealing. The Tigers caught a first-hand look at him tonight. Schebler fouls it away 0-1.
Tigers only 4 singles tonight against Romano, who was throwing that ball. 98 was his top fastball, but just about every other fastball was 94, 95, 96. He threw about 60% fastballs too. Really good outing by that big man.
Schebler hammers one down the right field line. The curl just foul. Scott Schebler batting .281. He has power, 9 home runs. Swing and a miss. Verhagen strikes him out.
And last time Billy Hamilton was up, he got himself in a favorable fastball count. But he got a breaking ball in the count, and he turned on it. Real nice swing by Billy Hamilton. Projected distance 368 feet for the speedy right fielder. He had a fast home run trot too.
Entering today, this ballpark is only 8th in the majors in surrendering homers.
That's surprising.
Very surprising. Meanwhile, Billy Hamilton is saying, I'm having me a night.
That's 5 hits for Billy Hamilton in the last 2 games, and a sensational catch in center field, which we showed you earlier. You don't have to worry about Billy running now, though. If you're hit, you can play behind him.
8-0 score in the 7th inning will shut down the run game here with Hamilton.
Yeah, Billy doesn't even put his little oven mitt on when he's not going to run. He usually has that mitt on his left hand.
Here is Peraza.
So 11 hits tonight for the Cincinnati Reds.
Reds came in 14th in the National League in pitching. Their ERA nearly 5, but Romano has turned those numbers on their head. They've given up the most hits, the most home runs in the National League, but the Tigers have been handcuffed this evening. Single walk, 2 runs scored for the leadoff man, Jose Peraza. Ground ball right to first. Hicks will go to second. There's one. Relay is dropped. Another hard hit ball.
That ball hit Verhagen's hand. Hit something. Oh, hit him in the nose?
No.
What?
Did it?
Yeah, something happened. He's bleeding, it looks like.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hit him in the nose.
It did.
Hit him right in the nose. Ouch.
Oh, that's not good. Doug Teeter coming out now. Gonna have to come out of the game. Was that a direct hit or did it carry him off the glove?
It wasn't much of a deflection. Not much of a deflection. He got him pretty good.
So Drew coming out of the game now. Tigers go to the bullpen. Will step aside here in the 7th. July 7th at 4:10, and the first 10,000 fans receive a Willie Horton 1968 50th anniversary bobblehead courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. Call 866-66-TIGER or go to tigers.com for more ticket info. Well, Tigers down big in this one. Our score is 8-0 as we play here in the 7th inning, and Drew Verhagen had to leave after being hit in the face on this relay throw.
And it's not never feels good when you get hit in the nose with the baseball or anything. And I don't know if he was trying to look to see if he had the bag momentarily to look down and he mishandled that ball or what, but it kind of looked like at the last moment he took his eye off that ball as he was about to catch it to look to see where he was as far as putting that right foot on the bag, and of course it didn't look good there.
Well, Sal Romano is the story here tonight. We told you he pitched really well against Kansas City in his last start, but the Tigers tonight, yes, they did have some hard hit balls against him, but by and large, man, they just could not do anything against him.
No, they couldn't. I mean, first time they'd ever seen him, but it was also the first time that the Tigers had seen they'd seen Boyd as well. I mean, but he just dealt. He pitched a very good game today. A lot of first pitch strikes, lots of breaking balls and fastball counts. He pitched as well here today as he pitched 5 days ago against Kansas City.
Well, it was good tonight, no question. His offense really got him rolling with a grand slam, which gave him a little bit of an early cushion to work with. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. He struck out 6. Meanwhile, Matthew Boyd tonight just didn't have it in terms of his command. He walked 4 batters in his stint, and 3 of them came around to score. So yeah, it was just one of those nights for Matthew.
Yeah, unlucky tonight. I mean, you can walk 4 batters in the game, and sometimes none of those guys will come around to score. But he wasn't very efficient today. I mean, I'll give him a mulligan because that's one of those times that Matthew just didn't have it. First time he'd ever seen the Cincinnati Reds as well, but they had some pretty good swings against him.
Well said. Windows pitching change now. Buck Farmer coming on out of the Tigers bullpen, and he will resume duties here in the 7th with Barnhart coming up for Hagan out of the game. There's a strike called on Tucker Barnhart. He's had a big game, single double walk. He has scored twice and knocked 1 in. Third reliever used tonight by the Tigers. There's a check swing, did not go. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2, right at the top of the strike zone. Farmer got his third win of the season on Saturday in Chicago. Scoreless inning in relief, and then was pounded back out of play. 7th in the American League in appearances. 36 of them now out of the bullpen for the Tigers.
Buck Farmer, along with Jimenez and Green, all have had quite a few appearances already this season.
And look at back out of play again. Jimenez leads the American League with 38 appearances. Green is third with 36. And now Farmer has tied him with his 36. Popped up, shallow right field. Castellanos on the charge, and it's going to be Goodrum with a sliding play, but he can't hang on. Nico went as far as he could. Castellanos would not get it.
That ball in no man's land, because as far as Nico Goodrum ran, you would think that Martin or Castellanos could get there. But both guys playing deep at their respective positions, it turns out that Nico Goodrum had the best opportunity at making the play.
Just out of his reach. That'll keep the inning going now for Joey Votto.
That is the third hit of the day for Barnhart.
Votto with a grand slam and a walk. He has scored twice. Ball one. .369 with men in scoring position. Ball two.
Man, does he have a good eye. He does not leave the strike zone very often. One of the best eyes in baseball.
Ball three. 96 that time from Farmer. Suarez on deck. It's a pretty good 3-4-5 here. Got Votto, Suarez, Jeanette. He'll take, and it's ball four, so another walk for Joey Votto.
And back in the third inning, if you are just tuning in, it was Votto that got his ball club on the board. It was a 2-1 breaking ball from the Tigers starter Matthew Boyd, and he hit a grand slam.
Just off the glove of Castellanos. 6 walks now for Tigers pitching. Here is Suarez. Single and 4 at bats for Suarez. Missed 16 games in April with a broken thumb. He's got 3 grand slams of his own.
Good fastball there by Buck. Mid-90s and 95. They've thrown a lot of fastballs today to Suarez, and he's taken the majority of them.
It'll dive low and away, 1-2. Suarez last year hit 26 home runs for the Reds. Extended his hitting streak to 9 straight with a single in his last at bat.
He's never made an all-star team. He has a legitimate shot of making the National League all-star team this year with 14 homers and 52 runs driven in. And 52 RBIs, good for second in the National League.
Oh, just drilled by the pitch.
Oh.
That'll force in a run. He was ahead in the count 0-2 and he hit him.
Well, Buck probably was trying to come in off the plate and then go back outside for the next pitch, but that little two-seam fastball got away from him and smoked Eugenio right in the hamstring.
9-0 ball game. Here is Scooter Gennett with the bases loaded. Ball one. Gennett 2 out of 4 singles in his first 2 at bats, and he's got 6 career slams. 433 with the bases loaded coming in career. Slapped out of play. 1-1.
Milwaukee Brewers basically gave Scooter Gennett away.
Can you believe that?
Just basically gave him away. I mean, the Cincinnati Reds picked him up on waivers. He has gone on to be one of your more productive second basemen in the National League. Javi Baez of the Chicago Cubs, another outstanding offensive second baseman and a good defensive second baseman. Gennett more offensive minded. 5 feet 10 inches.
Gennett hit 14 homers in his last year with Milwaukee, and then 27 last year. Popped him up foul.
He had a 4-homer game last year.
He did.
And I believe a 3-homer game this year.
I know your good friend Tom Brenneman feels that he is the best second baseman in the league here,
Yes.
but you still going with Baez?
I like Baez a lot.
Yeah,
I
he's
really
good.
do. I like Baez a lot, but you cannot argue with the numbers that Scooter Gennett has put up, not only this year, but last year.
In the National League we're speaking of, whether it's Gennett or Baez, they're both 2 of the best in this league. And now he's gone 3-2, no place to put Scooter Gennett.
And Buck has a really good changeup that he can get a strikeout with if he has enough confidence in throwing it right here. But we'll see.
High fly ball to right field. Cruising back is Castellanos to the warning track to make the catch. That'll end the inning. They score 1 more run, and you're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here in Cincinnati, where it's all Reds tonight. 9-0 is our score as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Here we go to the 8th inning now. To the bullpen go the Cincinnati Reds. Romano is done. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change, and it's the veteran David Hernandez.
He's been around for a long time. Yeah, pitching in his 19th game with 2.01 ERA and 21 strikeouts, 9 base on balls, and the league hitting under 200 against David.
Leonis Martin will lead it off. It'll be Martin, Candelario, Castellanos. '09 was Hernandez's first year in the major leagues. Little miss inside, 2-0.
He's got a fastball that will top out at about 94 these days. He used to be a guy that was 96, 97. He also has a slider. He's got a curve that he really likes a lot. He throws that about 30% of the time.
Can't throw a strike here, 3-0. Martin walked, single on base 3 times. And a strike call, 3-1. Leonis wanted to take first, called back by Ryan Blackney. Another strike, and Martin threw his bat away this time. And he is really disagreeing now. Blackney shaking his head.
Yeah, he had a beef there. Yeah, catcher pulled that ball back in the strike zone, and he bought that call from Ryan Blackney. And Martin should be on first base.
Here's ball 4. That one missed badly. Leadoff man on. Here is our Ram pick the stick update. Well, I'm not doing too good. I know that much.
Well, not a lot going on for anybody tonight. Oh, there's Jonathan again.
Oh, not Keith.
Somebody.
How bad is it? I don't have a monitor. Is Keith's leading?
Yeah, but he's only got a couple points though. But he's leading though.
You know he's watching right now. He's got a grin from ear to ear.
Oh, you think he ain't? Just leave his mic closed. I'm just kidding.
Keaton buried in the studio.
ABK.
Hashtag ABK.
And Keating's been doing well, really well, in pick the stick for the last week or so.
Here is Candelario. Hernandez is having trouble throwing strikes. Candy looks at ball 2. Castellanos will be next. There's a strike, 2-1. Chambers skies one in the air to right field. Winker cruising over makes the catch, and Leonis holds. 1 away. Castellanos is the batter now. Ronnie Rodriguez instead will pinch hit. You ready, Brad?
Oh, you know he's going to be swinging. You know Ronnie's going to be swinging.
If it's close, he's a hacking. Ooh, he took strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. That's his running glove?
Yes, his oven mitt.
Now Hernandez with the 0-2, and he missed it high. I mean, he has missed badly at times in this inning. Now some changes. Schebler is in right field now, so Blandino is at second. Dixon is at first. That's fouled straight back. Both skippers now making some changes with the lopsided score.
And quick turnaround. And tonight, a 12:30 game tomorrow. 11:30 Tigers line.
Tigers fell behind early in the grand slam. That came in the third off the bat of Joey Votto. And they could not catch up. Nico Goodrum on deck. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hernandez has been with Baltimore, the organization he grew up in, and then Arizona. He's also pitched with the Phillies and Dodgers, and then back to Arizona again last year for part of the year. Here's the 3-2. Ronnie Rodriguez has been called up a couple of times this year. He got his first major league hit. Was in the Cleveland organization last year, put up good numbers, and was really raking down at Toledo before his first call up.
Yeah, tough for him to get to the big leagues with that Cleveland group. They got some pretty good infielders.
Now Ronnie up there hacking, staying alive. Tigers came into this game having won 5 straight, 6 of 8. The last time they won 5 in a row, you had to go to September of 2016.
That's 10 pitches.
It is. Ronnie not going down without a battle. Swing and a miss. He finally got him. 2 gone. Got an afternoon of baseball for you tomorrow. Join us as the Tigers and Reds square off again. All of your coverage begins with Tigers Live at 11:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Breakfast with the Tigers tomorrow.
That's right.
A brunch.
Get the cantaloupe ready.
Is Johnny gonna bring the food
I'm
tomorrow?
gonna bring a little of that honeydew.
He's the youngest
some
one.
lean protein, Rod.
You the youngest one, Johnny. You got to bring some groceries in the morning.
All right, I'll bring some.
It's a solid single to center field by Nico.
Johnny talking about fruit,
Why'd you bring,
fruit and cantaloupe.
Why'd you
Man,
bring some of those
food.
ribs from the boathouse?
No ribs tomorrow, Johnny. Bacon maybe with some eggs, but no ribs.
All right, I'll swing by. I'll get the gear.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, decent made by Nico. Couple of hits and a walk.
He'll bring up John Hicks. Getting word that Drew Verhagen is having x-rays done on his nose. He suffered a contusion at this point, which is pretty much a bruise, but they're getting that thing x-rayed.
It's going to be black and blue. That much we do know.
Yeah. For sure. Hicks 0 for 3, pop up, ground out, and a strikeout. Nice pick there by Clarkey.
You see him moving his feet, though.
Did.
He backed up on that like he wanted to get the best hop possible, and he got that good hop.
He's got skills. Hernandez about to throw his 25th pitch. Rolled foul. Well, Hicks came into this game hitting .325 in the month of June on the heels of hitting .300 in the month of May. So you look at the breakdown on Hernandez. And seeing extended playing time at first base now with Cabrera gone for the year. Ooh, emergency there.
Get off me, ball.
There is more action in their bullpen. The left-hander, Yandy Peralta, warming up. As Hernandez's pitch count is getting up there here, trying to get the final out. Swing and a miss. He just did, and that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Hernandez. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th in Cincy. Phenom Juan Soto, well, he centered the league at the bang last night. Not any different in a suspended game. Hits a 2-run homer to put the Nats on top. Most interesting part was that was a game that was played earlier in the year, but because of rain they had to make it up. Soto wasn't even on the team when the game was originally started.
Nope,
so
he wasn't.
Should he have been in the lineup last night for them?
Well, I don't know what you do there. I mean, they have to have a 25th man. He was a 25th man on the roster. I don't know. Would you replace him with somebody else? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, he wasn't there for the original start of that game, and then they resumed the game yesterday, and he hits what turns out to be a big home run.
He's already hit 3 homers against the Yankees. He had a 2-homer game at Yankee Stadium, and then that was against the Yankees last night, Mario, and he almost hit that ball out of the stadium. Huh. This boy's 19 years old. It's remarkable what people are saying about Juan Soto at 19 years old. He should be a freshman in college.
That kind of puts it in perspective right there.
Or maybe he get redshirted and he could be in high school still. Redshirted back in middle school.
Buck Farmer here in the 8th inning came on in the 7th when Verhagen was injured. Strike called on Duvall. Buck hit a batter with the bases loaded, forcing in another run. That made it 9-0 for Cincinnati.
And Duvall, nice piece of hitting his last time up. A breaking ball that was away from him against Ward Sapole. And he sliced it the other way past Nicholas Castellanos.
Pull to left field. That's going to get down. And he's going to try for 2. Throw to second base. Not in time. He's sliding double for Adam Duvall.
And when Duvall left the batter's box, he was thinking 2. Now that's a 2-seam fastball that was running in on his hands that he muscled off. And as soon as he took off out of the batter's box, his head was down and he was thinking double, and he was able to get a double.
That'll bring up Brandon Dixon, his first at bat. "13 hits tonight for the home team." Ball 1 to Dixon.
And Buck's 2-seam fastball continues to run in on these right-handers. He's already hit one batter here today.
Two 2-0. Brandon Dixon was born in La Jolla.
Oh.
I knew we'd get that reaction out of you there.
My goodness.
That's a nice place. Born in La Jolla, but grew up in nearby Murrieta, which is also a nice part of Southern California. And now Buck has gone 3-0.
You think he serves?
Yes. I don't want to make judgments, but yes.
He got the surfer hair going a little bit.
Reno. 3 balls, 1 strike on Dixon. Shebler waiting on deck. Now Farmer with the 3-1. Two big innings in this game for the Reds. They scored 4 in the 3rd and 3 in the 6th. The grand slam early set the tone by Joey Votto. Matthew Boyd tonight lasted 4 innings before he had to be relieved in the 5th. He was pinch hit for. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Farmer comes back to strike him out. Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows for the finale here tomorrow. It's going to be Tyler Mahle and Michael Fulmer.
I heard some good things about Mahle. I heard he's got a really good arm, 3.96 earned run average, 5-6. Michael Fulmer was really good 5 days ago against the Minnesota Twins. He got his 3rd win of the season, and he pitched deep in the game.
Scott Shebler now with 1 out. Pinch hit in the 7th and struck out. Two and 0 the count on Shebler. Tigers got word before the game today that Liriano came through his rehab start okay, so he will start one of the games in Cleveland for the Tigers. He's been slotted back in the rotation.
When did he throw? Was it Sunday?
Sunday.
So 5 days would be
Monday, Tuesday,
Saturday maybe?
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, he'll get the ball one of those days. He also said that Blaine Hardy might pitch out of the bullpen for a couple of days until they can figure out when he's going to get his next turn as a starter. Man, he's done a really nice job in the starting rotation.
Swing and a miss. Tigers have been operating without a lefty in their bullpen, so either way Boyd will stay in the big leagues. But
you mean Hardy?
I'm sorry, Hardy rather, will stay in the big leagues, but he's just been so good in the rotation.
They like Buck against left-handers. I believe we put up Buck splits the other day against lefties and righties. And man, he does a much better job against lefties than he does the righty.
To shallow left field, and it's going to be run down by Reyes. There are 2 gone now. We check in with Johnny Kane.
You know, it's a good problem to have, obviously, if you're Ron Gardenhire. I mean, the value that Hardy has as both a starter and a reliever, you know, cannot be understated. But, you know, the biggest thing I think with Gardy is when he said, if you got a guy pitching as well as Blaine has, why take him out of the rotation if you don't have to? And again, you hit on this a day or 2 ago, Mario. This isn't something that they would do long-term throughout the rest of the season. But you get to the middle point here, you get into June, July, you get to the All-Star break. If you can stretch some guys out and give them a couple extra days in between, I think there's great value in doing that.
No doubt about that. And I think Hardy, to everyone's surprise, has done so well. And I say to everyone's surprise because he was designated for assignment in March.
Yes, he was. And he went down to the minor leagues, and he was pitching in relief until they needed a starter. And he says, I'll do it. He raised his hand. And then he got another start 5 days later. Then he got another start after that. And next thing you know, he's back in the big leagues in the starting rotation for the major league squad.
Well, he easily could have been picked up by another team after he was designated for assignment. But coming off an injury, there were no takers, so he remained in the Tiger system.
You know, we were talking about the Tigers don't have a left-hander in their bullpen per se until they get Stumpf back. And Stumpf's on a rehab assignment as we speak himself. But Farmer does great work against left-handers, much better than he does against right-handers. And I think that's what Ron Gardenhire feels confident with him against the lefties. He's got to improve on those numbers against righties, though.
2-1 on Hamilton. Chop to the right side. Hicks. Better hurry up.
Yeah, you better hurry up.
Leadoff double is stranded. We will go to the 9th in Cincinnati. All right, Keats, thanks. We go to the 9th inning. It is 9-0 in favor of the Reds. Last call for the Tigers here. It'll be Grayson Greiner to lead things off. And he'll look at ball 1. 9th inning is underway.
Yeah, pretty good fastball there thrown by Peralta, the left-hander, at 96. And to Grayson Greiner.
2-0. Here are the numbers on Wandy Peralta.
He's walked more than he struck out.
And he's given up a base hit. Griner with a leadoff single in the ninth. Peralta making his team high 37th appearance. Here's Victor Reyes. Ground ball into left center field, base hit. And the first two Tigers reach here in the ninth.
Them bottom feeders.
Reyes gets his first hit of the evening.
He smoked this ball. Right past the shortstop.
That thing shot right by Peraza. Peralta last year made 69 appearances. 3.76 ERA last season. And he'll miss low and away to Jose Iglesias. Didn't go. 2-0.
And Jose's going to get a good fastball to hit, just like Grayson Griner got a good 2-0 fastball to hit. It's going to be about 95.
Tigers now have 7 hits in this game, singles by Griner and Reyes. Swing and a miss. Jacoby on deck for the pitcher's spot. Rip foul. He was out in front. 2-2 on Iglesias. Single and a steal tonight for Jose. Ground ball, base hit right field. And they're going to hold the Griner at third, and the Tigers open up the ninth with 3 straight singles.
All 3 of those singles coming on fastballs.
So here's Jacoby Jones now. Nobody out. Reyes got the start in left tonight. Jones sitting down, but he will pinch hit here, and not before we get a chat on the mound. Griner singled, Reyes singled, Iglesias singles. Danny Darwin, the pitching coach, having a chat with Peralta here. Last thing they figured they'd have to do is get some more activity going. Floro, the right-hander, throwing. So here's Jacoby Jones. Grounded foul. He wasn't waiting around. He took a swing at the first pitch he saw at 96. One ball and 1 strike. Sal Romano started for the Red Sox tonight, 7 scoreless. Hernandez a scoreless 8th. In there, a strike call, 1-2. Just got a piece staying alive. Jones this year 0 for 1 is a pinch hitter. Off the plate now, 2-2. Peralta out to throw his 15th pitch, and he has not recorded an out. Low ball 3. 3-2 now on Jones. Jim Riggleman has a look of concern on his face for a guy that has a 9-0 lead. His reliever can't get it out. Here's the 3-2. Drilled foul down the left field line. Top of the order, Leonis Martin waiting on deck. Fouled away again.
96 again with that power fastball from the left-hander Peralta. Doesn't have great command, but boy, he has a good arm. And left-handers, not a lot of guys walking around 96, 97 from the left side. Jacoby's giving him a battle.
And that battle continues again. 96 from the left-hander. Jones pinch hitting for the pitcher spot here in the 9th. And he walked in, ball 4, that'll force in a run. 9-1. RBI for Jones. A whale of an at bat there.
It really was a good at bat coming off the bench cold.
Griner scores. That'll bring up Martin. It's a 10-pitch at bat there for Jacoby. And Leonis looks at a strike, 0-1. He got up to 97 there. Martin, 1 grand slam. That came earlier this year for the Tigers. Martin's grand slam, April 19th against Baltimore. Mike Wright Jr. served it up. Bouncing ball foul down the first base line, 1-2. Martin tonight has been on base 4 times, 2 walks, 2 singles.
Yeah, good catalyst today in that leadoff spot.
2-2. And Martin stays alive. So this next one for Peralta will be his 25th.
And he's got no outs.
No outs. Single for Griner, single for Reyes, single for Iglesias. 10 pitch at bat, resulting in a walk to Jacoby Jones. Three and two. Look at him again. If he can't get him out.
Well, I was thinking that too, man, but I know a lot of managers like to turn Jamer around to the right side. They prefer he bat right-handed than left-handed. So
yeah, good point.
We'll see what Riggleman does. I agree that he probably going to have to go get him, because if he walks him, I mean, you just can't leave him in there to keep giving up runs. But
line drive, base hit left center field. That'll score 2 more runs. Jones goes to third, double for Leonis Martin. It's 9-3.
What a day for Leonis. He worked the count to 3-2, and he didn't have much of a leg kick there. Kind of kept that foot on the ground. You can see he wanted to make sure he had good timing, and he smoked that ball over the head of the shortstop. That ball nearly got to the wall. A couple of runs driven in, a double for Leonis.
On base 5 times in this game, Martin, and that's going to be it. Peralta does not get an out. We'll be back.
In the top of the 9th inning, still nobody down, and you know what, guys? The Rally Goose lives on. We got here to town. We had the off day yesterday. I went for a little jog down by the Ohio River, and what we see down there? The RG. Rally Goose taking a little walk outside. A Great American Ballpark.
He was scoping it out.
He was just scoping it out. We saw him in Chicago, and now we saw him here in Cincinnati. It's a thing, people.
Well, they're rolling now. They need him tonight. They need him tonight.
We got a long way to go, but the goose is loose.
Oh, man, it looks, for a minute there, I thought it was Photoshop, but I know it's not.
No.
That's legit.
That was legitimate.
RG. Dylan Floro's on now for Cincinnati.
And Floro, good numbers. And pitching in his 19th contest, 1 hold, sub-3 ERA, 22 strikeouts. He's walked 8.
Ball 1 to Candelario.
Looks like he's got a nice little sink piece at about 93 miles an hour with some movement.
Jamer in the ballgame tonight with a walk. He is 0 for 3 otherwise. Ball 2. Boy, the Reds doing an incredible job of letting the Tigers back in this game. This is unreal.
Yeah, Romano, who started for them, had some decent control here today, but the bullpen pieces that they've brought in here tonight, they've thrown a lot of pitches. Hernandez threw a lot of pitches in the 8th. And Peralta started out the inning throwing a bunch of pitches. Oh, that's
come on,
not good.
That's terrible.
The catcher, after that pitch right there, he was getting ready to get up and run out to the mound. He just thought that was a ball.
And he did anyway.
Watch the catcher. Watch the catcher.
So wide.
That's ball 3. Look, he's like, and then he's like, really? That's a strike? And that's ridiculous. He didn't even try to frame that one, Mario.
It was a joke. 2-1. Fouled away now, 2-2. Well, what a great at bat by Jacoby Jones. A 10-pitch at bat to battle Peralta. He ends up walking with the bases loaded. Then Martin 2-run single.
Yeah, a lot of good at bats in here in the 9th frame. And Griner, and Reyes, Iggy.
Candelario walked in the 3rd, otherwise 0 for 3. Tigers now have 9 hits. In the air toward left center field. It's going to be caught on the run there by Duvall. This will score a run. Both runners will advance. And it's 9-4. Sac fly RBI. Tigers getting it done. Bench is still alive. Candy's 30th RBI of the year. A 9-4 ball game, and here is Ronnie Rodriguez with a runner at 3rd. Oh, look out. Ronnie hit the deck on a ball up and in. Its bullpen ERA came in at 4.02. Two and 0. Well, I guarantee you right now, Jim Riggleman's stomach is turning. Rodriguez struck out as a pinch hitter in the 8th. And Ronnie looks at a ball high, 3-0. Nico Goodrum on deck. He's taken all the way, 3-1. The ball game was 9-0 going into the top of the 9th. Tigers have scored 4, still only 1 out. And he walked him. Ronnie Rodriguez is aboard. That'll put 2 men on.
It's crazy.
Well, Jim Riggleman right now just can't believe this. Here is Nico Goodrum, the 8th man to bat in the inning.
Let's go Tiger chance.
Nico looks at a strike, 0-1. Runner will take second, a swing and a miss. Ronnie will go to second with no throw. Defensive indifference. 7 walks tonight for the Reds pitching staff.
My goodness.
7.
That means overall there's been a lot of free passes in the game.
One and two. Base hit here makes it 9-6. Here's the 1-2. In the air to center field. Hamilton measuring it. Runner will tag at third. Throw going into third base. Sac fly RBI makes it 9-5. Goodrum knocks in his 21st of the year. Tigers keep chipping away, but they're down to their final out.
Well, they're kind of performing the way that they always perform. They never quit. I mean, they always play 27 outs and they always give their best. But the 9-0 deficit was a big one. But they've definitely chipped into it.
So here is Hicks now with 2 away.
And Victor Martinez still in that Tigers dugout as well, should they want to use him at some point in time.
0-1. Couple of strikeouts tonight for Hicks. He is 0 for 4. Ronnie Rodriguez at second with 2 away. Popped him up. Center field should do it. Hamilton is there. Tigers make it interesting, but they drop game 1. 9-5. Now we'll send you to the Call Sign Studios. John Keating, Craig Monroe, Tigers Live postgame.